There we are. All right. Hello. Welcome back. Another episode. Episode number. Well, this is a day I forgot the number. Oh well. It's large. That's all that matters. Anyway, go ahead and move on to the introduction here.
Um, Hello, I'm Keto. I am a multi Mario speedrunner, and I guess more or less a 3D World speedrunner as well. Um, yeah, I'm really happy to be here.
I do really like 3D World as a speed run. I haven't watched a ton of it recently, but there's an era a few years ago where
Oh yeah, I think yeah, honestly, like the 3D World era peaked a couple years ago, which is actually where I started speedrunning.
well, doesn't
Nice
that work
segue.
out beautifully?
um, yeah, so uh, it was about 2021. Actually, wait, no, 2020. I had figured out that the new port for my favorite game of all time at that point, Super Mario 3D World, was getting a port to the Switch, which was huge. I was going crazy over that, and obviously I looked into the game a bit more, and then I got to the point where I discovered what speedrunning was, and I'm like, holy shit, I love this game, and I think it'd be cool if I beat it as fast as possible. So I, it was very funny. It was like a couple days after the port came out, I decided to do the Wii U edition of the game because I was like, I think the Switch version is slower because that one skip got patched. That's definitely the reason why. I So I did a run on the Wii U version of the game, and that was my first speedrun ever. It was a 323 3D World any percent, which like that I don't think that's bad for a first speedrun, I guess. But um then over that coming summer, I would come back to doing 3D World any percent a lot more. I would move to the Switch port. I would get my first sub 2 in that category, which that's a pretty big milestone for at least for me starting out. Then I would continue doing 3D World 90%. That'd be like the only category I would do until I signed up for this race. Or not, no, not a race. It was a tournament. It was a tournament. The first person I got paired up with was I was a speedrunner named Hex Speedruns, and me and him did a race. He beat me by a lot, but in turn, it motivated me to do a lot of stuff. But I also I didn't really know who he was before that tournament, but afterwards I followed him and I started looking at all the other stuff that he did, and I saw that he did multi Mario speedruns, which I'm like, whoa, I actually really like these other games as well. It's like it'd be cool if I did something like this, and then I would keep doing 3D World any percent, and then I'd even move to do stuff like 380 and other categories of the sorts. But then I would discover what the 602 race was, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try the 602. I think that would be a fun speedrun to do. So I think that was around October of 2021. Um, like I would get to I would get to I would learn all of the not learn. I really just did casual playthroughs of them because I mean I got I think right before the 602 I had a 4 hour 64 time. I wouldn't really consider that me learning the game. I just did a couple runs of it. Same thing with pretty much every other game. Like I had a 8 hour Galaxy 1 and an 8 hour Sunshine, and then a 14-hour Galaxy 2. But I did do that race. I did finish it, and that was really cool. I wasn't planning on doing it ever again until I discovered what the 1862 was. That
Hmm.
run was it was okay, actually I should probably explain. So the 602 is a multi Mario speed run, where you do Super Mario 64 120 stars, Super Mario Galaxy 120 stars, Super Mario Sunshine 120 shine, and Super Mario Galaxy 2 242 stars, all in one sitting. It's like for like a good runner that would be like 20 to 24 hours. But for me it was like 37 on my first one.
I can't even stay
I
up that
had
long.
Well, I didn't.
Oh,
I
okay.
like started Galaxy 2. I got to like World 2 and then I was like I can't stay up any longer. I'm going to take a 1 hour sleep break which turned into a 3 hour sleep break.
Ah,
So so yeah, honestly for our first 602 like a 37 isn't that bad. Like I was actually really proud with what I did. Especially like I knew I wasn't going to be able to stay up for the whole thing, but I thought it was like pretty cool that I was actually able to finish it. Um, but then over the coming months, I had spent time doing 380 stars. Like I completely stopped doing the other like four games until I discovered what the 1862 was, which that looked like a very ambitious challenge. And after that 602 I did, I was like, I could do that. And then the 1862 is the 602 plus 3D World 380 stars and Super Mario Odyssey all new. I Here's the thing. I liked Super Mario 3D World a lot, but Super Mario Odyssey was like the first game I actually like 100% completed. Like that was like so like the all moon speedrun actually like it was it was kind of meant to be. I did a couple runs of all moons and then I did the 1862 and I ended up with like a 60-hour time with 2 sleep breaks. And honestly, like that was a time back then. I don't even know how I had the time for that because I definitely don't have the time for that now. um, but yeah, after that, it kind of pushed me. I was like, you know what? I guess I'll do the next 602 race. I mean, I've done 2 already. I might as well do the next one. And then it kind of from there, I just kept doing all the 602 races. But I think it was that summer, 2022, where I had like actually wait no, it was before the summer of 2022. It was like after that. It was like that 1862 was like in March, like mid March. But after that, it got me motivated to go for sub 4 and 380 stars, which kind of jumped in the gun. I went from like a sub 2 to like a 149 around that time, and then I started going in and doing more like, or I started like doing a bit more any percent, and then I started getting more into 380 stars because like I really liked that category, and I had like a lot of like I felt like I had a lot of unfinished business with that category, so I just kept doing it until I got sub 4, which I like at the time that was a crazy speedrun for me, but I mean, over the coming years, I would learn more about the category that would make me think otherwise. But it was really cool to get at the time. And then a week later, I got my first sub 140 in 3D World 90%, which, like, at that, I think it was around that point where, like, I started kind of, like, cement. No, actually, no. I got, like, a 145 around that time, actually. Never mind. Um, But then after that, I started doing a bit. I started to like get more into the like multi Mario stuff again. I would do like 64 and Galaxy. I would try and get good at those games, but I didn't really spend too much time on Sunshine and Galaxy 2. So coming up to the 602 race, I was just like, I wasn't really like. I mean, I was confident in finishing it, but I wasn't like too crazy over it. So I did the run, but I quit in Galaxy 2 because all 3 of my runs prior were very terrible, very awful. Um I quit in Galaxy 2 because like I was also getting really tired. I was planning on doing it sleepless, but then I had lost so much time to my previous PBs that it just wasn't possible to do anymore. It was actually really sad. I wish I had finished that one in hindsight, like, take a sleep break and then get back up and finish it out. But it's okay. No big deal. But after that run, I forgot. I think I like. I I forgot if I like spent time more on like I think I spent more time working on like oh wait no yeah I spent more time working on like 3D World and also Galaxy 2 and stuff. I don't think I spent much time on Sunshine. Yeah, it was Galaxy 2 and 3D World that I spent a lot of time on after that. Um so I really just spent a lot of time on that over that like couple months. But then I was like I had like a break from school for like a week and I was like I could do another 1862. So I was like I felt really bad for dropping that 602 previously. It was really unfortunate that I quit and I'm like I could probably get such a better time if I can just do one. And I'm like, why don't I just do it 1862? I'll just do one, and then I will feel more accomplished than finishing that race. So that's what I did. That November, I reattempted the 1862. I spent more time on Odyssey around that time as well. I got a couple PBs in other categories. I remember spending a lot of time on Galaxy 2, like a lot of time. Like I think I dropped my PB over the course of that year from a 1430 to like a 1110. It was either 1110 or like yeah, it was 1110. I ended the year with 1110, which was crazy for me. Even like it was mostly just because I was doing more runs, and I think that actually is just like the way I got an 1110 and not like a 13. I just did a lot of runs, but I just spent more time on that, and then I did that 1862. I dropped my 1862 PB from a 60 to a 45, a 15-hour PB. But six of those hours that I saved were due to taking out one of my sleep breaks. I had 1 hour of sleep throughout that entire run, which honestly I think that's still like probably one of my, or at least in terms of like RTA runs, that's probably one of my more impressive runs. Like I was very surprised I was able to finish that out. 45 hours with 1 hour of sleep. I don't think I've ever done that in my entire life, and I don't think I ever will again. Like it's
Can't say I'd
like
recommend it.
because
No.
yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend doing one sleepless at least unless if you don't know what you're doing. Like if you're gonna do an 1862 sleepless, at least like I'd say like have like around a sub 35 sum, which I know that's like really good, but like for a run like that, like you gotta have. I was being a little stupid. I gotta like I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll do good. I'll figure it out. Uh, Also, like I think that was like when my mentality was at the best because I wasn't exactly taking the runs very seriously. I was taking them semi seriously, but like go. I wouldn't like get really demotivated over big time losses. If I had a big time loss, I would just like I'd laugh it off, or I'd like be really disappointed in the moment, but then keep it going, and then like 5 minutes later, it's like I'm on to the next split now. I don't care. It was also a 45-hour run. That wasn't going to be without time losses. So I just kept going. Um, and then right after that, then the next 602 race was literally a month later, and the one game that stuck out like a sore thumb was Sunshine. I had a really bad Sunshine compared to everything else I had. Like I think around that time I had dropped my 64 down to like a sub 3, and then I dropped my which like I dropped my 64 down to a sub 3, I dropped my Galaxy down to a sub 7. And I think even around that time I dropped it like another notch, like down to like 630 or around there. I had learned 2P for the Galaxy games, which that was a huge time save. Um, and like I got my Galaxy obviously down to like an 11-hour time, but I still had like a really bad Sunshine. So I worked on Sunshine a lot, and coming up that next 602, I PB'd the 602 by 2 hours, which from the 1862 that was around 28 hours, and then in the December 602 race I got like a 26-hour time, which that I was starting to like get up there. I like obviously I wasn't odd me level. Odd me got like a what 1915 or 1915 that race. Yeah, like I was nowhere near that, but like I felt like I was getting up there. Like I felt like I was like actually like I felt like I was one of the people. I felt like I was one of the multi Mario runners. Like not like a giant, but like I felt like I was like actually making a difference, or I felt like I was actually like making my way up. I felt very motivated after that race to continue going, and that's pretty much what I did. Coming up on 2023, I did a lot of work on. I don't think I did work on 3D World. I think I kind of dropped off of 3D. Like I was in a 3D World rut around that point. Like I kind of stopped doing 3D World, pretty much in general around that time. But coming 2023, I did a lot of like, I worked on G2 more. I don't know why, but that game was like I just loved that game. I just like I started like even though I started with 3D World, I just felt more appreciation for the Galaxy 2 speedrun. I don't know why. I was like this was also a phase in my life where I was like I like the long runs. I don't like the short runs. I like doing 10-hour speedruns. That which honestly looking back, I that was like kind of cringe, but like obviously I still like doing those runs, but I used to like I think it was around that time I really just did not like any percent categories for some reason. I think it's just cuz like around that time is also like where I was like actually like wanting to take stuff more seriously, and like minor time losses really got to my head in the any percent categories, but they didn't really get to my head in the 100% categories because it's like longer runs. It's like or like with longer runs, you don't have to worry about being so close to sob or anything. Like a 5 minute mistake isn't going to kill your run, or at least back then when I was not very good, that was the case. But like for for like around that time, I was like getting into how like I was getting into like how like everything worked. I got really good at Galaxy 2. At least for what I think around that time. I haven't unfortunately my 242 PB has not really dropped much since that like grind in 2023. I did the first ever Galaxy 2 mainboard marathon where I did any percent, 120, green stars, and 242 all in one run. That was like 24 hours. I I honestly don't know how I had that tolerance back then, but it was pretty good. I mean, I liked it, and I also PB'd all four of the G2 categories in that run.
Hmm.
Um, but after that, I kind of got into I got into another rut, but this time I actually spent I got into like a G2 rut, but instead of like not speedrunning, I actually like spent time working on Sunshine, which my Sunshine actually dropped by quite a bit. I went from like a 5 hour time down to like a 4:30, which was a lot for me. Like a 4:30 was at the time was pretty respectable. Um so when I got that time I got that time, and then I also like I dropped my Galaxy one time close to like I was getting very close to sub 6 around this time in Galaxy 1, which was actually very interesting because I mean like I had 2P, but I never thought I was ever going to make it to like the sub 6 barrier because that was also a very respectable time. Like it just kind of felt like I mean I guess I'd been doing it for so long, it was only natural I'd get to that point, but like it kind of felt surreal to me around the time. And then like I didn't really drop my 64 time by much. I was also like in a 64 rut. Um but nonetheless, we get to the summer 602 race. I'm like what? I think like 5 602s in at this point. I I did the I did that, or I did the race. My consistency was unfortunately not the greatest. I think I was like an hour off of my Sunshine PB, which was pretty bad. I didn't spend much time practicing before the race. I didn't, you know, build consistency. I just did runs to get PBs, and I had realized after that run that that is not going to be a suitable thing, or like a suitable thing I can do if I want to continue doing multi Mario, which I finished the run out with like a 25-hour 602. It was still a PB. I mean, I wasn't expecting not to PB. Like my 602 PB at the time had like a 6-hour Sunshine, and on a bad run I got like a 5-hour Sunshine. So I wasn't surprised that I PB'd, but it was very disappointing because I was hoping I could get a sub day. I lost so much time that I couldn't even settle for a 24. I got a 25. It was very sad. I was also doing 1862, but because of that horrible 602, I just didn't even do 3D World and Odyssey. I just dropped it there. I was hoping to get sub 40 in that, which my sum actually showed that I could do that. Um, but nonetheless, that actually I don't know, it was but it was around that time, like a lot of my like other multi Mario friends were getting like the times that they wanted. Like a lot of people got sub 21 602s, which that's a very big milestone in the 602. Like a lot of people are getting sub 21s, and me getting a sub 25, it was like it hurt, but seeing all my friends getting like these really good times, it really just motivated me to just keep pushing. So after after that, I spent more time on Galaxy. I spent more time on I spent more time on Sunshine, like a lot of time on Sunshine. And this is when I got really into 64. I dropped my 64 from like a 239 to like a 209. Yeah. I dropped it by 30 minutes. I got to like a 209, which that was really big for me. I That was like the first. I think that's like aside from 3D World, that's the first like game I like actually like started doing practice and like Usanume. I actually like spent time like with the practice codes and did a lot of IOs, did a lot of RTAs. I made sure that I was gonna nail this. About I spent about I spent a couple months working on 64, and I ended up with like a 209, which it's been a while since that. That was like late 2023 to early 2024, and I haven't even like gotten to that level of gameplay pretty much ever since. But it's around that time that I was like doing really good, or I felt really confident with my 64 gameplay, but I also just felt confident with the other couple of games in general because I I got good at Sunshine. This was when I couldn't, but I've also been in like a rut, which I still am really. But my 242 in Galaxy, I have, I have just not been able to get a run, like just finish a run. Pretty much, like I haven't been able to finish a run since like summer of last year, which that's pretty close to. But like the few runs that I finished from that one Galaxy mainboard marathon from like April of 2023 to now, I have not been able to get. I've PB'd by 4 minutes, which really, I mean, it doesn't really reflect how I feel like I've been playing recently. Like I've started to like work on some world RTAs and stuff, and I feel like if I could like do a run like right now, I could probably get like a 930 something. I feel like I'm around that level of Galaxy 2, but I haven't been able to finish a run just cuz like the run is so long. I've gotten busy. I just don't have like time for attempts. It's really rough. But the few times that I have been able to was around like it was around that area in like late 2023 to early 2024. I stopped worrying. I kind of stopped worrying about like my my skill level, and I started worrying more about, or I didn't worry about it at all. I just like stopped caring, kind of, which in turn helps with like finishing runs, but it does not help with like, but it kind of faulted me when it comes to like my consistency or skill. Which fair enough. I wasn't like trying to go for skill. I was just trying to finish runs, but also like I can't really be too mad when I don't really get too much or like too much of PBs whenever I do that. Uh, I think aside from all of that, I mean, oh, I also got into like I started speedrunning like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I did that. I got like world records in that, but I that's like a game that I run like yearly. It's like kind of a yearly thing I do in October. I just like two two or 2023 I got like all three of the world records, and then October 2024 I did it again. I got the world record sweep again. And I might do it again this coming year, just because at this point it's a yearly tradition. I even did it in 2022, but I didn't like get any world records or anything. um I I guess also like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I completely jumbled the timeline. Going up to 2020, or like going up to like December 2023 602 race, I had actually like I went in with the thought process of I don't care what I get. If I get a 24, if I get a 25, if I get a 30, I don't care what 602 I get. I'm gonna just do the race and have fun. And I ended up getting a 23:37, which was a little better than I thought I was gonna get. It's just because like that really is like that's really like the mindset for 602. If you just like if you can just like accept what you're gonna get, you'll get something, or like if you can just like accept getting something worse than what you are probably capable of, you'll probably do very well. Like it was, or it's like if, and I noticed this from my summer 602 race, or like my 602 race from a year ago. Actually, wait, I'll get to that later. Um, Around that time, I also worked on Galaxy One. I got sub 6 in Galaxy One. I also got out of my rut of not being able to PB 3 to World 380 because like I hadn't like cared much about it, but then I started caring about it, but I still couldn't get a good time. So around, but then like I finally had gotten a sub, or not sub, but like I got really close to getting a sub 340, which at that point I was at like top 10 on the leaderboard, which that was like kind of new ground for me. I never thought I'd get to a point where I would be like in top 10 in anything. I just started this hobby as something fun. I never thought I'd be like, up there. And like 380 is a pretty like I'm like it's not a popular category by any means, but it's still like a 3D Mario game. It's like they hold it's kind of held to pretty high standard still. Like not as high a standard, but still pretty high standard. Um Also I had done like a 3D World main board marathon. That was, dare I say, that was harder than the Galaxy 2 one, even though it's 6 hours less. Like finishing a run, like at least with okay, so with the Galaxy 2 mainboard marathon, you have four categories. Uh and none of them are like bad categories. Like it kind of suffers, or like 3D World MBM kind of suffers from the same thing as like the 64 mainboard marathon. So the 64 mainboard marathon, you have to do 0 star, 1 star, 16 star, 70 star, and 120 star, which on its own, that's like five, or that's just like five like main categories, like you see a lot of people do them. But for the average multi Mario runner, who doesn't really do much in, or like they don't like delve into one specific category, or one specific game. They worry more about the more broad, like, or they worry more about the more broad like area where it's like they worry about on a bunch of other games. Zero star is not an easy category for any of them to do, so it's like that one category kind of takes them out of wanting to do one in general. It's kind of the same thing for 3D World with actually the opposite end being 3D World 100%. 3D World 100% is, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it, it is a horrible category. It sucks.
Because it's 380 times 5 essentially, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, so 3D World 100%, you have to have 4 controllers on you, and it's
Oh
like
yeah, you
you
do them all
do
at once. Okay.
yeah, it's like you play every level twice, and not only that, but like it's just, not only do you play every level twice, you have to like play as a different character. You have to like learn, like for 380 at least it's like you use the most optimal character once. Like that's it. But for 100%, if you use Peach and you're good at Peach in one level, you can't use Peach in the reattempt. You have to use like Luigi or Toad, and sometimes that makes stuff really hard. Like in 3-7 where you have all those jumps and like Peach's float really helps, you don't get that. You have to use like Luigi, and then you either have to skip those jumps or the jumps become impossibly hard. And not only that, you also have to worry about your 4 controllers. Like sometimes one of your controllers will die, and then like it's just like the whole thing gets like screwed up. It's like,
Hmm.
and then you have like, and then don't even get me started on post game levels where like post game levels in 380 I don't find very bad. I'm actually like decently good at post game, but it comes to when I have to use like Luigi on a Peach level in post game. Like Champions Road, I have to a T. Like I could like, even when I'm rusty, I can do Champions Road first try as Peach. But when it comes to doing, I don't like. It could take me hours. I couldn't beat it as Luigi. I just have it down to a clockwork, and I just can't really get out of it. Like it's gonna be. I just think 100% is just a category that honestly, it should have stayed on the category extensions leaderboard. That was a good call from them back then, but then they moved it to the main board, which I can't blame them. But still, I think that should have stayed on the category extensions, low key. Um, but yeah. Anyway, I
Well,
finally
here I
did a
have a
main board
question actually. Then, if you need the 4 players because 100% requires all 5 to complete each level, um, do you just leave them alone and they just constantly die or whatever?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, actually, what
Fun.
you do is you play the level as normal, and then at the end, at the flagpole, you like put them all in the game, and then you put them all on the flagpole, and then when you get to the next level, you disconnect all the controllers. Like
Oh,
that's the most optimal way. Yeah,
okay.
it's rough. It's rough.
Fascinating. I see why
Uh,
no one really messes with that too much.
and like it's like if it wasn't such a struggle, like if it wasn't for the controllers, I'm sure the category would be fine. Like if it was like 3D Land 100%, where it's like you play twice, you'll have to play every level twice as Mario and Luigi, but at least it's just Mario and Luigi, not like 5 different characters. Even if Rosalina wasn't in the game, that would cut the category time down by like 3 hours. If Rosalina wasn't in the
Oh
game,
yeah,
because then
because
you
then you'd
just
have
do,
4. Yeah,
yeah, it would just be 4, so you just do it all in one go. It
that's
basically just be 3D
hilarious.
World. It just be 380 with extra controllers. Which honestly, I'm glad that Rosalina came in because that'd probably be what 380 would have been
Yeah,
if if we didn't have to play every level twice. Which, mm-mm. um,
tragic.
but yeah, I had done the 3D World Mainboard Marathon. I got the world record by 6 hours. I still think I could beat that by over an hour because my 380 PB at the time was a 340, and my 380 time in the run was a 358, and that was probably the better one of the runs that I had in that run. Like my 100% wasn't great, which not surprised there, but all of my other runs, like the any percent, 243 item list, those were not great at all. It was just a not great run in general, but I was happy I finished it nonetheless. It was one of those runs where I just like didn't care what time I got, but looking back on it, it's like I could beat that by an hour with my eyes closed. um, I was also doing like a lot of like I guess it was like around 2024. I kind of like stopped. I It wasn't that like I was like kind of burnt out of. I definitely was getting there, but I wasn't like burnt out of multi Mario. But I was kind of like broadening my horizons. Like I was like giving more categories a shot. Like I did like Galaxy 2 transformation lists where you can't grab any power ups in Galaxy 2. That was a strange run that I did. It was also very hard, but I was actually like really happy I finished that. There's also like what else? There's like I just did a lot of speedruns of games that I hadn't really done speedruns of before. I just like got more games under my belt. I also got really into Mario Kart. I did Mario Kart 8 time trials around that time. It was really fun. But all that was like kind of it was all kind of like coming together when I got closer and closer to that 10th anniversary 602 race, which like I hadn't been spending my time very wisely with that. I hadn't been working on Galaxy or actually no, I was working a lot on Galaxy. I and 64 around that time, but aside from that, the other four games I had not like touched pretty much. So we got to the 10th anniversary 602 race. I did a couple DRS. I did like DRS that were fine. I hadn't done a 64 120 in a while, so my 64 120 was pretty bad. But for the 10th anniversary race, I told myself I'm going to finish in 1862 no matter what. No matter what. Which is exactly what I did. Because of there was like a whole like thing back in 2023. It was after the summer race, but they implemented TA breaks to the 1862, which was such a game changer.
Hmm.
I was like not a fan of having to stay up for out like 40 some hours. So when they added the TA breaks, I for the 10th anniversary 602 race, I started the day before by playing Odyssey on 3D World, and then I took a sleep break, and then I did the 602, which that was like if I ever do that again, which I told myself I'm probably not going to do an 1862 for a 602 race ever again. I'll probably do an 1862 again at some point because I just love to do 30-hour runs, I guess.
Hmm.
But like uh like doing that if like I like starting with Odyssey and 3D World because not only do and then like taking a TA break before because like not only do I get a TA break, I'm ending with everybody else on the 602. It's not like everyone else is going to bed and then I'm having to boot up 1-1 in 3D World and
Hmm.
having to spend another 14 hours playing Mario. It's like I would just rather do everything the day before, which that's what I did. I had a horrendous Odyssey, possibly the worst Odyssey run I think I've ever done. And then I did 3D World, which my 3D World was actually pretty good. I was actually happy with my 3D World time. But then the 602 started. I got my PB at the time, right, was a 209 for 64. I got a 248 because I spent 20 minutes attempting DDD pull lists.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was rough. Like pretty much, actually, if I didn't spend 20 minutes on DDD pull list, if I even just did it casually, I would have PB'd my 602. But that is the one and only reason why I did not.
Hmm.
But it was because I had killed that 602 and 64 that it let me be like not like demotivated for the entirety rest of the run because I got a very good Galaxy one, a very not a very good Sunshine, but like a time that I was happy with for a 602, and then I PB G2, which was a 1022, which is still my PB to this day.
Hmm.
I plan to change that soon. I can PB by like 50 minutes. I promise it's coming soon. I just gotta find time to do a run again. But yeah, it was also around this point where I was getting really burnt out, which that was not a like that wasn't abnormal around this time. A lot of I wasn't the only one feeling burnout. There were so many other people who were feeling burnout. It was like they'd been doing 602s for like 4 years at this point. It's like it's a very tiring race, and you basically to to make sure you get a good time, you have to like spend the prior 3 months like practicing and making sure you can like get the consistency you need just to be able to like PB at this point. Like a lot of the top runners were plateauing. I wasn't plateauing, but I was still just relatively burnt out from just like getting to like it's just very tiring like spending pretty much all of my free time on Mario, especially when like I have new hobbies, I'm getting more busy with school. It's like it's just not easy to do multi Mario anymore, especially when I'm just not motivated to do it just cuz like I've been like working so hard or like or it's like obviously practice is like important, but overworking yourself is going to make you burn out and like it's just like a lot of people were getting to that point and myself included. So pretty much after the 602 race, I had kind of stopped in general with pretty much everything multi Mario. Not exactly though, because surprisingly, after that race, the one thing that I somehow got motivation for was to come back to 380 stars for 3D World. Because like I was kind of like I also wanted to do SMS 120. Okay, I just said that I like pretty much stopped everything multi Mario. I wanted to do SMS 120, but like I bought a Wii and I bought like everything because like I wanted to move away from 3DS for Sunshine. I wanted to get more like I wanted to switch to Wii. I wanted to, spend more time, working, diving into how the game works because that game was looking really cool. But I wasn't able to download the like downloading the practice codes and everything was apparently too hard for me, so I just moved to doing 3D World because I was also motivated for that. Did a lot of ILs. I wasn't PBing around this time, but that would inadvertently set up for what would happen this year. Um, I also worked on. I guess I didn't really do much speedrunning. Oh, I did come back to Galaxy 2 though. I didn't get a 242 PB, but I got a greens PB that was a 315, which was a 13-minute PB, and also a very very good time. Like it is a time that I think it's gonna be hard for me to beat, and like it was a very like I don't know, it's just like very consistent. Like I played like 4 minutes off Sob for a three hour run, which is
Hmm.
like that's like probably the best I've ever played in my life. Like, and that's like with all the like 3D world runs and stuff. Like that was just like the best I've played like in any speedrun I've ever done. Like that was honestly that's what like motivated me to come back to speedrunning. But that was like in December. I got into like also the Sonic movie was coming out and I got motivated to run SA2 or like I started playing SA2 and I'm like this speedrun looks so cool. I'm going to do a couple runs. That didn't really go anywhere after the year started. I was like, I like the run, but I I like stopped playing it. I also like watched like a bunch of my friends get really into Sonic, so it was I started so like I did a couple SA2 runs. I thought I did I think if I think I might come back one day to Sonic cuz it still interests me. Like I still want to come back to it and run it more, but it's around this time that Mario started to gain my attention again. It'd been like 6 or 7 months since the 602 race. I'd started to get more motivated. So I decided to come back to 380 stars. I told myself, you know what, my 340 has stood for long enough. I think it's time I start working on getting to the 3-3x barrier, which I was 9 seconds off of. So I had spent the next month, like pretty much all my free time doing ILs, RTAs, no resets, all that, until February of this year, where I probably pull off, which looking back on it, I would probably consider my like 315 greens a little better, but I probably pulled off the most goated speedrun of all time. I got a 334 in 380 stars, which for for reference, the world record right now is a three I think it's a 3:14, which that's very off. But second place is a 3:29. It's like a huge gap. Shoyu's just too good at the category. Like no one's gotten anywhere close. But second place is a 3:29. I had gotten a 3:34. I was like, I'm 5 minutes off of second place. I was like, and okay, I should also explain why that was like a big deal to me. There's this trick in 3D World called crouch boosting. It like if you ever see a speedrun of 3D World like from like Luigi Master or Xylix or like anyone at the top, you'll see them use this trick. It makes them go like really really fast.
You spam
But
crouch on like icy surfaces.
yeah, that's ice glitch. That's a little
Oh,
different.
that
But
is
like as
different.
for crash boosting, it's like, well, crash boosting is like you crouch like right before you jump, so it like lets you gain speed and then chain it with vectoring, and it's like you just go
Oh.
really fast.
Huh.
I don't do crouch boosting, but I do vectoring. I feel like crouch boosting, it's so inconsistent, and it's like it would turn me off of the game if I ever learned it because it's just so inconsistent. Like it's one of those things that should have stayed IL only, but people start but like I mean, okay, IMO obviously. I like I'm I'm happy for all the runners who do crouch boosting and like are able to get that consistently. I hope one day I can get that consistency, but that just has not happened for me. Like and I've tried it before. It's just like I just think I have just an inability of doing it. It's like I've actually tried, but as a non-crouch booster, getting 5 minutes in between the second place time, which for reference, the first place time only does crouch boosting when it's necessary, like to do certain tricks, like Meowser skip, like in the last or like in like 8-Castle, where you like do that Tanuki thing where you like fly across.
Mm-hmm.
That's like Shoyu doesn't do crouch boosting except if it's like one of those big time saves like that. And really looking into what Shoyu had did, I started to realize that I could probably inch closer and closer to second place in like in 380. And getting that 334, it was a pretty good run, don't get me wrong, but there were definitely some places where I could have improved upon. Like I hadn't learned a lot of post game and I hadn't learned a lot of like the mid game. Like I was really good at worlds 1 through 4 and I was also like really good at post game, but I didn't like mastered it yet. um so I got that 334. I felt peak motivation for 3D World. Like I was like all in on 3D World. It was very motivating to see myself become something more than just someone who runs these games because I like them. I started to run these games because I felt motivated because of like I was like actually getting towards the top. I felt like I was like I don't know. I felt like I'm like or I just like felt more like a runner, I guess. It was really nice to feel that. So I continued through. I even worked on other categories. I went back to 80%. I got a 134, my first sub 135 in 3 World 80%, which that was big for me. Like that was also big for me, which I'm not too big on 80%. I never really cared much about it, but it was the fact that I could do something like that after it was like a week after I did my 380. Like I just thought like right after I did my 380, I'm like, you know what? I have like a not very good 80% PV. Why not just like work on this? And I worked on it and I did really good on it. And I felt really happy I got that. Um, Unfortunately, after that, I kind of got into I didn't get into a 3D World rut, but something else caught my attention, and that would be the 80% categories and pretty much the rest of the games. Like I looked at my 3D World, I was like, wow, my 3D World 80% was not that great, and I spent time and I worked on it, and I got a really good time. I think I could do this for all the games I ran, which I didn't really talk much about my 80% because I never really spent time on it. The only time I really spent time on it was like early 2024 when I did a bunch of 70 star. I had gotten sub hour, which that's still my PB. I haven't touched 70 star much since. But I worked on doing Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2, Sunshine, even a bit of Odyssey, but I never ended up PBing. But I spent time on it. Like if I picked up where I left off, it wouldn't take very long to. I don't think it'd take very long for me to PB. But I spent time on Sunshine, Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2, and I dropped my G2 PB from a like 338 to a 318. That was also pretty big. I had actually discovered the fundamentals of the game. Same thing with Galaxy. I went from like a I think it was like a 239 or 230 is either 239 or 236, but I went from that to a 230. And I was like, which I can beat that by a bit, but I had also learned a couple strats like Crystal Float and other strats like HBO Max, like those strats that I had never really done before, but I actually did in like a speed run. It was like really cool doing all that. And then I also worked a lot on Sunshine. My goal was getting sub 130. I didn't end up getting that, but I got a time that I felt very proud of, which was a 133. I feel like I could go back for 130 and like it would be a grind, but I feel like I could do it. But it's it's such a punishing category sometimes, and like learning the movement for it is not very easy. And also my Wii is deciding not to work, so I think it'll be a bit before I go back to Sunshine for a while. But after all that, I kind of lost my 3D Mario motivation once again. I was really wanting to do more for like I, I wanted to do more for like the 602 race coming up because I hadn't done the one in December 2024 because of personal reasons, but I was like, okay, you know what? It's been a year. I'm gonna try and do this summer race, this upcoming summer race. But unfortunately, my motivation kind of dropped after all that any percent grinding. Like I just didn't feel like it was the right time. Couldn't I tried doing like multi Mario stuff, or like I tried doing like some of those longer categories, but after doing any percent for so long and it being so long since I've like actually done a grind like that, I kind of just lost it. I was really like hoping that I could come back and kind of pick up where I left off with all this stuff that I know now, but I mean it's a different game now. It's like it didn't feel the same as it did a couple years ago, so I kind of fell off. But the one exception, the one saving grace to all of this was the Switch 2. The Switch 2 was releasing. I was like, okay, you know what? I may not be in a 602 or I may not be in a 602 mood right now, but maybe Galaxy 1 will save a bunch of time on Switch 2 and I will somehow be motivated again to do 602. We get there, not only does Galaxy 1 barely save any time, it crashes. So, like, Switch 2 was like the opposite effect. It was like, okay, I don't ever want to run Galaxy 1 again if it's going to keep crashing, which that crash is fixed now, but it's a little too late.
Mm.
Or it was a little too late for me to do. It was a little too late for me to, like, get that motivation back. It was like a couple days before the 602. I'm like, I can't de-rest all that. But what did come of the or what did come of like the Switch 2 was me coming back to 3D World once again. And unlike Galaxy 1, 3D World saves a shitload of time on Switch 2.
Hmm.
It saved about I think it saved about 2 or like 1 minute 40 in any percent, and then it saved probably around 2 to 3 minutes in 380. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna push myself. I genuinely think in my heart I can get second place in 380, which that was like I didn't want to get it because of Switch 2 because that's a little corny. I'm not gonna lie, but I thought that like I felt like I could have gotten Switch or I could have gotten second place already on Switch 1, but with the Switch 2 buff, I feel like I could definitely get it now, which I still which like if my final goal, I didn't like go for second place because of the Switch 2. I pushed my like goals down by like a couple minutes, because now that I have this extra time save, I don't want to just like settle for it because of a console load time. Like I want to like actually feel accomplished, or like I want to feel like a little more accomplished with what I got, so I like pushed my minute barriers down by a bit. But like basically I spent time on 3D World. I got really, really consistent. Like I started building up my consistency a lot. And then one run that I decided to start at 12 in the morning for some reason, I was like, you know what? I'm bored. I'm just gonna do one 380 run. This one 380 run would turn out to be a 330, a 330.47, which right now is my PB, and it stands at fourth place. The two people ahead of me, because I mean we have like show you who's like 15 minutes ahead, but the two people ahead of me are 1 minute off of my PB. So I was like, huh, I think I could do it. I think I could get second place. Unfortunately, that 380 motivation kind of drizzled out. I was actually just like in an overall speedrunning rut around that time. I and the reason why is because like Mario Kart World just completely took over my Mario Kart World just completely took over like all my speedrunning motivation. I just like wanted to play that all day because like I did time trials and stuff. The time trials in Mario Kart World are actually addicting. It's and then also like Knockout Tour and like Knockout Tour and then like online lobbies. Oh my gosh, like Mario Kart World is a generational game. Actually, just peak. But it's because of that that I just never came back to 3D World, which it's been like it's been like what 1 or 2 months since the Switch 2 has come out. I still feel motivation for 3D World. I want to come back. It's like I always wanted to come back, but it was just like other stuff kind of took over in that regard. Like, and even when I was about to like start doing 3D World again, Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out, and that was even more phenomenal than Mario Kart World. Like that is easily probably the best game I've ever played.
Oh.
I literally like no life that game for a week, and I got 100%, and like such a good game. Could not recommend it enough. But that kind of leaves, or that kind of puts us to like around now. Like I 100%ed Donkey Kong Bonanza like a couple days ago, and but during that playthrough, I had in the back of my mind, because also around the time that Donkey Kong Bonanza came out, the 602 race happened. I didn't do it. I just couldn't pull myself to do it. But for the people who did, those two people, or like the two people that I watched mainly, being Fizz64 and Nathan Carter 602, those two people, watching them do a race and them being so close together, which those two are phenomenal runners. They are both in the like close to sub 20 range. Like they were like they're they were like in the sub 20 range, and like watching sub 20 runners do a 602 is it's like so cool. Neither of them got sub 20, but it was it was them doing a 602 that pushed me to be like in the back of my mind throughout most of my Bonanza playthrough. I want to get to G2. I want to start working on some stuff, which that's what I've been doing the past couple of weeks. I've been working on G2 a lot. I want to come back. I did a couple RTAs yesterday, and I've been getting RTAs that are like in a like very. I got some very good times. Like I think I think if I ever do a run again, like I think I'm gonna impress myself if I do a run. But it's just like I just gotta find time to do it because it is a 10-hour run. But I also have plans for the future. I'll come back to 3D World. I still want to get second place. I want to come back to Sunshine. I hope my Wii can work so I can come back to Sunshine. But eventually, I don't know. I think my 602 motivation is just completely back. I think I want to push and try and get. I think I'm gonna try and participate in the December 602 race this time around. I wanna try and get my times down and get a good time in that one because I definitely feel like I have some unfinished business with like the multi Mario stuff. Can definitely get I can definitely I felt like I ended that 10th anniversary race with a couple unfinished goals, and I feel like I feel like I have like I feel like over the past like couple of months, like impressing myself with like the 315 greens, the 330 in 380, like just like really working on a lot of stuff that I've been doing. Even coming back to any percent, I kind of have like a format. I have like a lot more of a foundation now. I've been kind of I kind of like broke myself down and built myself back up again. I think I'm ready to get back into the game. I've been working, or I just want to. I kind of just want to like work on 602 again. I think my motivation's just like back. Um, I
Present day.
definitely skipped some. I definitely skipped some timelines. Oh, I guess I could go back. 2022. I guess I can go a little more in depth on like some of that.
Okay.
Like the like late 2022, I was. This was around the time that like, or this was. I consider this like whenever I actually like felt I was in the multi Mario community. I had done the 602 race. I quit, felt very demotivated, or it. I felt motivated, but also a little demotivated. But I came back to 380 stars because I felt like I could push myself to do better, and also because there's a 1862 relay race,
Hmm.
which basically all six of those games, but you know, different people do them. Or yeah,
Each runs a different
it's a
runner.
relay race.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to join that. I felt like, my 3D World time is good. I feel like I could push myself to join that race. I feel like I could do that race and it'd be really fun. So I decided to make it a goal. I would push myself to get a better 380 time than I ever have before. And I actually didn't. I didn't get that good of a time in 380 throughout the entire process. But I joined the race. I was put on a team with really good runners. Honestly, we were really good. Like I was like on the back end of, or like whenever everything was leveled out, I was on the back end of like the good runner. I think I was actually like I was like there were like 6 teams total, and I was like the back end of what it was. Like I was like if I had any, or like if the person in front of me had a better time than me, I wouldn't have been put on a team. Like, but the day before the race, I pull off the biggest sandbag, which I still feel very guilty about it, but I pull off the biggest sandbag of all time and get a 349. I go from a 357 to a 349.
Hmm.
And it was on that day, or it was the day after when I did a 351, or like I got a 351 in the race, which was already 6 minutes better than what my PB was literally a day before. It's because of that like I don't know, people started to look, or like people started to like notice like who I was. Like people started to ask me for help for stuff on 3D World. Like I felt like it felt really good to be someone that people could rely on for for like 3D World stuff. Like felt it felt really like rewarding that, because not a lot of like 3D World runners are in the multi-mark community. That's like a very like multi-mark community. A community is mostly filled with like mostly Galaxy runners, some 64 runners, some Sunshine runners, even a lot of Odyssey runners. But there's like a couple of the 3D World people. I'm like on my own little like stand on that. Like there's, but like it felt really nice that we ended again, I feel very bad about it, but it was because of that sandbag or it wasn't because of that sandbag, but it was mostly because of that sandbag that our estimate dropped from like one of the worst to one of the best,
Hmm.
and then we ended up winning the race and we got the world record for 1862 relay, which was really cool. I mean, it was a pretty stacked team. We had Hay there on Odyssey, which
Mm,
like he was the
yeah.
world record holder at the time. We had Oddme, who is really good at Sunshine. We had like who else? Yeah, we had like other or we had other people as well. Galax on Galaxy and like Keegan on G2. Like they were all really good runners. Um, it was such or it was like a really cool relay race. I'd like to beat it at some point because even though like it was such a good relay at the time, I feel like it is like a or I feel like it is beatable. I feel like I could like get a team together. Like I mean, a 351 was good at the time, but I have a 330 now. I feel like if I could get I don't know if I could get like a team back together, we could possibly beat that, and I think that'd be
Has
really
that
cool
stood
because
this
it
whole
has
time then?
yeah, it stood
Oh,
for like 3 years now.
okay. I see.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess. Oh, I also okay. Actually, I participated in. I did do the 3DMM. I did that once.
What's
Um.
that?
Oh, it was a tournament. I did that. That was also another significant speedrun thing I did. It was a multi Mario tournament.
Okay.
Um. Yeah, it was like I thought I pushed myself on my any percent. It wasn't like the tournament itself that was more special, or it was more like right before the tournament when I felt at my peak. This was like late 2023. I felt at my peak for like any percent speedruns, which I was I was in such a rut earlier that year for any percent, but I had like come back to it because like my any percent PBs were like actually horrendously bad. Like I had worked that was like when I had actually worked on it and like I got a good 30 world time. Actually, I went from like a 139 in 3 world 90%, which was kind of like my baseline. I was like, I didn't really like any percent, and I was like, I don't really ever want to come back to this category. It's not something I'm interested in. But whenever that like 3DMM thing happened, I had to work on all 6 of the games, but the main one I spent time on was 3D World. I wanted to push my time down from a 139 to a 130. Like I just wanted a PB at first, but then I thought that like I could get a 136, and I did get a 136, and that was really cool. I thought that was really cool. I got a 136. I also got a lot of PBs in the other categories. They weren't like great. I mean, at least for my standards now, but like that was easily the most motivated I had been for like the shorter categories at least. Like I did a 540. I got like a 1218, which a 1218 for 540 was like pretty good at the time. It was mostly carried by my 3D world, but it was still pretty good. Um, the tournament happened. I didn't do well, but oh well. There were so many other like better runners than me. I wasn't surprised that I lost all 3 of the races that I did, but it was really fun that I did it. Um, yeah, I think that's really it
Mm.
for the timeline at least.
So you briefly mentioned a couple instances, but there are other games you've done that aren't like
Oh
Mario
yeah,
Marathon.
yeah. Um, when it comes to stuff like that, I didn't do like Mario Marathon stuff. Like I mainly talked about like the 80% categories and then the 100% categories. I also have done a lot of like the middle category, like a lot of the like extra categories. Like have pretty respectable times in the 3D World category or like the other categories like itemless and 243. Even like the Galaxy stuff, like I have a really good 120 Mario PV, but like no one plays 120 Mario. I just did a couple runs of it. I was like, you know what? I think it'd be fun to just do this. So I did 120 Mario in Galaxy, and I got like a 614, which it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Um, But as for like not Mario games, I have spent time learning. I haven't like actually done a run of it yet because I like the game or like the process to learn the game is like really hard because I like doing RTA runs, but this game doesn't have like a copy save file thing, and it's like just super annoying. But I have been learning a lot of ukulele, or it's a game.
Hmm.
It's not very like popular or well known. It was made by the people who made like Banjo and DK64. Um, but ukulele is a run that I've learned, or not like fully learned, but it's a run that I am learning, and it is easily like it looks like such a fun speed game to run. I just haven't gotten to pull myself together to do it. Um, Also, I've done multiple speedruns of like Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World speedruns are awesome. I want to come back to doing that at some point. Like, I've done like 30 tracks. I held the world record for unlock mirror mode.
Hmm.
Um, I I did knockout tour, or like knockout tour was one of the runs that I did, but I did it alongside a couple other people. Like we were all grinding it at the time, and it was really fun. Also, like 96 tracks in Mario Kart 8. That was a time. That was like actually like it's always one of those runs where you have to race with people because if you're not racing with people, it's a little boring. But if you're not racing with people, it's actually really fun. But I put a lot of time into that. I love doing Mario Kart time trials. Those are awesome. Um, Aside from that, I've done a couple games. I don't think. I mean, I talked about JoJo a bit, but I've. It's not a very. It's like one of those games where it's like I have the world record because there's not much competition. Like there was competition like years ago, but that competition has settled, and I came back to the game after all that had happened. So I just kind of like it was a little hard to get the world records, but I eventually got them. But no one tried to beat me back, so I don't know. It wasn't like very motivating.
What exactly
Um.
is it?
Oh. Okay. This is probably gonna explain it. It's a fighting game.
Okay.
It's a fighting game. It's a. I really only started running it because I like I like JoJo like as a it's an anime, so
Hmm.
I like the anime, so I just got into the game. I'm like I'm a speedrunner and I like this thing. I'm gonna do a speedrun of it, and I got really good at it. It is a fun category. I mean, I like doing it. It's just like it's a little slow at times. It is a fighting game, so it's like kind of repetitive. But it was really fun to do a grind, and I got the world record sweep. So I mean, none of my runs have been submitted, or none of my runs have been verified because the only two mods of the games have I don't think are like active anymore. I
Hmm.
don't even know if they've been online for a couple years. Um, I think aside from that, I have done. Oh, another one. I did a lot of Ace Attorney speedrunning. I did quite a bit
Oh.
of that.
Okay.
Yeah, me and another friend, Galaxy V, both did we both did the original trilogy of Ace Attorney. We did a big marathon of that, or we did like a race of that. It was like 12 hours for me, 11 hours for him. He definitely like took Ace Attorney a lot more seriously than I did, which I'd like to come back. I mean, I started working on the or some of the like what is it called the spin-off series games. I started working on some of those, and
Hmm.
I want to like come back to that at some point. But Galax did a long Ace Attorney run where he did 10 games in one go, and it was like 80 hours long with sleep
What?
breaks. But it was
Okay.
like, yeah, it was crazy. I wish I had taken it a little more seriously around that time because it was actually like really cool seeing him do that. But I had also like not fully played all of the games, so it's like I didn't want to like speedrun them because I like the games on their own. I think
Hmm.
it's a game that everyone should play casually. Um,
It just doesn't sound like a speed game, you know. Just what,
I
mash
get
for
it. Yeah,
hours or what?
yeah. I mean, I found it very fun. I can see why I can see why other people aren't very appealed by it, but I find it very fun. So
I suppose that's all that matters. Just
yeah.
interesting.
Um, I can't. I've when okay when it comes to like speedrunning other games, it's like, oh, okay. You know what? I have been thinking about coming to Donkey Kong Bonanza 90%. I haven't
Everyone
touched a
has, so
game. Okay, yeah, that's like whoa, and water is wet. Like, but it's like
it looks phenomenal.
it is. It looks like okay. I'm gonna be real. I was like my sleep schedule has been cooked, and I blame it all on the fact that I've been watching Neil, or like the world record holder. I've been watching him because he streams really late at night. I like stay up until like 4 in the morning watching his streams because like just the run is so interesting. Like I want to learn it, but it does look very intimidating because there's a lot of hard boss fights, and you have like three hearts to do all of it. Like you have to
Oh,
it's like though like honestly the chokes are very sad, or it's very sad because like really when it comes to like working like really when it comes to like like the last 30 minutes, it's like you cannot make a mistake, and it is very hard to just die. And then also there's like a lot of stress that just looks super hard.
it's like an hour and a half ish.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half. I think I think the world record now is like a 124, but I wouldn't be surprised if that drops even more over the coming days,
Wow.
because it's just like it's gone from like in a week it's gone from like, oh, this run is probably going to be about 140 to, oh, we're now at 124.
Hmm.
It's like, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the coming like months we see a 119 at some point. I mean, even then, I mean, it's like kind of Odyssey, like where I wouldn't be surprised. Like honestly, there is no limit to this game right now. It's only been out for a week. Like
Hmm.
it could end up at under an hour. It could end up at under 40 minutes. It could probably stay where it is now. We just don't know. But it
Yeah.
looks really fun right now.
Yeah, I mean, my entire following list is flooded with Bonanza.
um, yeah,
I haven't even played it
like
yet.
it's a really good game. I definitely recommend before doing any experience of it, please play it casually first. It's such a
Yeah,
good
that,
casual
that that
game.
is a rule I have, and something I recommend everyone does is if you're gonna run a game, play it casually first, no matter what
Yeah,
it is. Because you
yeah.
can
I
only casually play a game once. If you immediately start speedrunning it, you lose that chance.
Yeah, I made sure like all of the Mario games I had played casually before I ever played it. Like I 100%ed everything casually before I even thought about doing speedruns of it.
Hmm.
And I think that's kind of the same thing for like pretty much every game I've played. I kind of also have that rule, kind of. I mean, sometimes I'll like be motivated to speedrun a game, and then like it'll motivate me to finish a casual playthrough. Like for example, Sonic Adventure 2, I like that is a hard game. It took me a while. I think the one time I exceeded that rule, or like didn't apply that rule to, it was Sonic Adventure 2 because me and some friends were doing a blind race of it,
Hmm.
which
Yeah, that's fine too. But
I'm I mean it's fine. I didn't really retain a lot of it because I was skipping a lot of the cutscenes and stuff. But then I went back and I played it from scratch. Is That game is also really good. That like I really liked playing that game casually. Like that's like the one time where I felt like going back and playing it casually wasn't like didn't completely ruin it before doing a speed run. I also just didn't know anything about the game, so it would have. I didn't even finish that race. It was like I I didn't finish that race. I like quit like 4 hours in, and it turns out I wasn't even halfway. So
hmm.
would have probably taken me a lot longer, especially because those last couple of levels are really rough. Um, yeah. Um, I don't know if I guess there's like I don't really know any. I guess like in terms of speedrunning, it's. I guess I could talk about like. I guess I could talk about like another like thing that's been going on with speedrunning.
Okay.
Like throughout all of that time, I felt when I first started speedrunning, I was 14. I was very like kind of. I was like around the time I was getting into speedrunning was like also around the time that I was starting to like you know make friends on the internet. Like it was kind of a new world for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like I've learned so much from my friends online. Or I felt like I've felt or like I've learned so much about, and I feel like I look at myself as a different person than I was 4 years ago, which obviously I wasn't all due to speedrunning, but I felt like speedrunning definitely had a lot to do with it. Speedrunning definitely like changed me as a person, and I feel like it changed me for the better in most cases. Like the speedrunning community is awesome. They always are like they always have your back when you're at your lowest. Like I don't know, I just really appreciate everyone that's, been there for my journey, and I'm happy that I was a part of theirs as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess.
A lot of people share that sentiment, I feel. So
Yeah.
hard not to.
Um I also I forgot to mention I did go to a speedrunning event one time.
Just once.
I I wanted to go to more. I really wanted to, but I just
I'm
like
addicted, so.
I went to Pace 2023 or Summer Pace 2023. That was
That
my
was
one
the
and only
first
speedrunning
Mario
event
1
so far.
tournament. Very good.
Yeah, I actually hold on.
Ooh.
I have my badge right here.
Yep, I remember that one. I'd
Um,
show mine, but there's like
I
18 of them. I have a
I went
problem.
to. Wait, did you go to Pace 2023?
Yeah.
Oh, then we wait. I wonder if we. I oh wait no, I remember seeing you. No, you were doing the Mario Bros tournament, right? I
Oh
forgot.
yeah.
I saw I saw like you up on the stage. I don't think we ever met though, but I went to
Yeah,
that
that
one.
was. I mean, that was the first time I got to do in-person Mario 1 tournament with that technology.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that looked sick. By the way,
Life
like all
changing,
that
honestly.
stuff,
Yeah.
actually crazy. But over that week, it was like I was in such a speedrunning. I was in such a speedrunning rut around that point. But like meeting people that share the same hobby as me, like that is just something that is like not like I like where I live. Speedrunning is just like non-existent. I feel like I'm
Mm-hmm.
the only person ever to do that. It's like such a foreign concept for pretty much every single person that I've met in real life. But then I
Yeah.
went there and I'm like, oh, these people are like me. Like there are other people that are like me, and they're not just like on the internet.
My first GDQ changed my life.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why I'm
like
addicted to events and have 18
actually life
badges.
changing experience. And the reason why I haven't been able to go to other ones is because like I just
They're
like
expensive.
something would get in the way. It'd be too expensive. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, with school, I can't really go to fall at all because like my parents are very stingy about those rules. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also I went to my first event when I was 16, and I kind of wanted to like not go to another event until I was like 18. But even then, it's like it was old too. It was I couldn't go to GDQ this time
Mm-hmm.
around because it's too expensive, and like I've also been busy a couple times. It next year I do want to go. That is something like I have like I am like currently like saving money for that to go next year, and I will most likely be going next year to GDQ, which I haven't been to a
Sheesh.
GDQ. I mean, Pace was fun, but I've heard it's very small compared to a GDQ.
Yeah, GDQ is just pretty much better in every way. But Pace
I've
certainly
heard
had
that a
its
lot.
charm, and it was definitely unique and
I think
Cool.
pace had its charm, and most of the reason why I went in the first place was because most of my friends went. Like, because don't get me wrong, I like the speedrunning event. It looks really cool. I was there for not only that, like, for the Mario, like, or for the Mario, like, I was there for the Mario Bros. Tournament, but I was also there for like the 64 LTA, the
Oh yeah.
like the darker side race. I was there for a lot of it, or not a lot of it actually. I actually really liked it because it was a chance for me to like get to meet like these people that I've known for 2 years at that point.
Hmm.
Like getting to hang out with them in like an IRL sense. Like we like hung out. We went to trampoline or like we went to the trampoline park. Even though there's not a lot to do, there really is a like just nothing to do there. But
Laurel
we somehow
fucking
made time to
Maryland.
do stuff.
Lovely
That's
place.
probably that's like I mean, even though that like a lot of it was just like at the hotel, like we did something fun like maybe once every couple days, but like
I will miss the vibes of pace, but yeah.
yeah, it was like I'll, I will sure miss those dead cockroaches in my hotel room.
Yeah, there's things I won't miss too. That's for sure. Having a can of Raid in my fridge is quite the
Yeah,
experience.
that definitely was a pace experience.
But I did
It
have a lot
was
of fun at
oh
the
yeah, it
events
was
and
so much fun. I mean, even though like I know there's better events, there's like that definitely wasn't like the greatest event of all time. It's still one of the best weeks of my life.
oh no, yeah. They
It's
they
like
certainly had their place.
I haven't gone to any other events, so it's like I find a lot of charm in this one in particular.
No, that was
But
a good one too.
yeah, that felt really good. The that pace in particular was like really good. I mean, I
Hmm.
heard that the one the next year happened that I didn't get to go to. I heard that one was really good too
Yeah.
as well. Like that
Hmm.
was like the best one, like the peak of pace, but
Probably.
I I didn't feel too sad that I missed out on that one. I was I mean, I did feel sad at the time, but looking back on it, it's like there's always going to be another one. And like
Hmm.
even or I
Well,
mean, I
maybe not
guess not
pace,
another pace.
but
Yeah, maybe yeah, maybe not pace, but there's always going to be another GDQ, maybe even another ESA or there's
yeah, there's
also
a lot
like
of small
I've
events
started
too.
to yeah I've started to discover a lot of these like smaller events. Like I didn't know much about like PAX West or like
Mhm.
there's like UK or a UKSG. A couple of
Midwest
my
Speed
friends went to that, and
Fest,
that
Speed Gaming Live. I'm sure a bunch
yeah,
of
there's
others
just
I'm not thinking of.
like I think that like we're now in an era where like those were like small or like at least for me, if there was ever a small speedrunning event in Texas, I would go crazy over that because I live in Texas and just about everyone I know lives not in Texas.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm in a similar boat where I live in a place where no one else lives, and
Yeah.
is in a city that no one would ever host an event in. So
No, like here's the thing. Like okay, I guess I'm doxing myself a little, but like I am close to like one of the biggest cities in Texas. I'm like, and it's like one of the biggest cities like of all time.
mhm.
And it's like no one has hosted there because no one wants to go to Texas. Which fair enough,
Well,
don't
my
blame them.
problem is my
But
city is constantly voted the number one most dangerous city in the United States. So
mm, yep, that would
awesome.
do it.
Hell yeah, love it here. But
um, yeah. I mean, I guess like like another thing I could like talk about. Oh, I have this like I I don't know if I don't know if I've seen anyone else do this, but like
okay.
this hasn't been updated in a while, but I have like all of my splits, or like I print out a bunch of
Oh,
my splits
oh,
and put them on a board.
that's
I
funny.
this has not been updated since like early 2024, so a lot of these are outdated. But I
Yeah,
just
I
thought
have
like
never seen that before.
I just
That's
think it's
fun.
really cool because, like, it was kind of a thing. Like, it was kind of just something that I thought of because, like, I see my brother who does sports. He puts up all of his trophies all the time. It's like, why don't I just put up my splits? I feel pretty happy of those.
Yeah, that's unique. I haven't seen that yet. Um, so in terms of like, I assume you didn't run anything at pace.
No,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
I submitted a. The only thing I submitted even was I was see because like already I was like I kind of just want to go for the experience. I'm not too, but like I was already in a speedrunning rut. I wasn't like I know that getting a run into pace like that's like or just getting a run into a live event is like actually like life changing. I didn't feel too much of like actually submitting because I just like wasn't feeling speedrunning around the submission date. Like I just like because all the games I ran were like 64 where I was very bad at it, and like Galaxy where I was very bad at it. Like there, all the games I ran, someone else was better than me. I guess there was 3D World, but even then there were a bunch of people that were better at me at 3D World at the time of that. So it's like I just couldn't submit anything. The only thing I got to or like even submitted was a 4-player 3D World any percent run, which didn't get in. So I didn't get to. So I didn't run, but I'd like to submit a run to GDQ next time. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't. I doubt I'll get in, but
It doesn't
no
hurt,
harm in
that's for
trying.
sure.
Like I think it's been a hot second since we've seen since we've seen 3D World any percent on the main stage for a GDQ. I think it'd be
Yeah.
cool if I could submit that,
I know a lot of people have been trying to get
especially
that
like
in, but it hasn't gotten back in yet.
I mean also because like a lot of the top runners of the games are to put it lightly, let's just say they're on the younger side and
Mm,
they
I
probably
see.
aren't even allowed to go to GDQ.
No, you can get if your parents are there, you can do
I guess.
it.
I mean,
I'm sure
also
that's not.
like like aside from Luigi Master, every single top 3-year-old runner is not from America, so it'd be such a hassle to get to
True.
GDQ.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
they also don't always just take the best of the best. I mean, I guess if it's multiple
yeah,
submissions, they would, but like usually
yeah.
that's not the determining factor of a run getting in or not. Is if you have the
Some
record or whatever.
Something that would genuinely be a dream come true is if I did get 3D World 380 on the main stage. It's such a long run, so like
Yeah,
I don't know if it ever happened, but if one can dream, one can dream.
yeah. Good
If I
commentary. It'd be easy to have good commentary though, especially with the people that go to the events. So that's not a problem
yeah,
either.
yeah, like I remember so Xylix, the current world record holder of 3D World 90%. Uh she did a run for UKSG and like the commentary on that was like really funny but also really good.
Hmm.
Like it's like for 3D World commentary, it's like you can get very good commentary for 3D World. It's just like a lot of the people who run the game just don't like submit to live events.
Yeah.
Like I think I saw Show You do a live event for RTA Japan
Hmm.
one time, like a long time ago. I think that was like really cool. And then obviously like the Wii U version of 3D World definitely got a lot more love. Like I remember seeing a bunch of 3D World runs by PD Boo on GDQ. Like I think like I think there was someone else who ran 3D World for GDQ. I forgot who though, but there were a couple GDQ runs that were pretty big for 3D World.
I've technically commentated a 3D World run on GDQ
Oh
in
really?
a very weird
Oh, which
way.
one?
Well, it was a hot fix show, but
Oh wait, uh, hold on. Joey King J?
no, no,
No.
mine was
Oh.
really weird. It was for the first, right before the first SGDQ that was online, so in 2020. They
Oh.
had the 2D Mario runners that got in do a little showcase some other game kind of deal, and Cosmic did
Oh.
3D World.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. I it's been a hot second since I've seen like I haven't
That's what
seen
got me
too many
into like
people like
watching it. I watched him run that a lot, and it was actually like the movement tech was visually interesting.
Oh yeah, it's I. This is definitely a hot take, but I think 3D World has some of the best speedrunning movement of all time. Just because like it's very simple, very condensed, very not. It's like sometimes when I look at stuff like 64 and Odyssey, it's like their move sets are so diverse. It's really, don't get me wrong, those move sets are very good, but it's like I've gotten the movement in 3D World down to a T where I just feel like it's just like very like it's just very smooth. I guess it's more of a personal bias just because like I definitely understand the movement a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've definitely but like I wouldn't put 3D World at the top. I definitely give the best move set of all time in any video game to go to like Ukulele because that game has so much. Trust me, like it's not a popular speed game, but it is like something that I wouldn't be surprised takes off because the moveset is really good. You also have clips, which like you can pretty much clip into most walls, which I know that like that might be a deal breaker, but those clips aren't like they're like not hard, but they're also like not bad either. It's like I also just really like the tech in that game. It's like there's a lot of like it's just that I guess that's another like personal bias thing, but the like move set is like pretty diverse, and it's like but like putting it all together is just it's really smooth. It's
Mm-hmm.
like um um I will say Sunshine does have like I think Sunshine also has a very good move set. Sunshine is pretty or like I like watching like okay, I don't like I'm pretty sure every single Sunshine runner has experienced this once, but just just going around and every Sunshine runner I know knows this, but like just kind of like just doing dive rollouts on that one roof in that one part of Delfino Plaza.
Mm-hmm.
I it's like I think Sunshine has a very addicting move set. It's like just like sometimes just messing around with it is like you could be just in Delfino Plaza for hours, just like doing whatever.
Yeah. Have you ever done like an online marathon run?
Yes, I have actually. I completely forgot about that actually. Um, I did. There was a it was like a it was like something to do with the 1545. I did a 380 run on that. I also did a greens run on that. The greens run was a 357. It was very bad, but it was something that I did because I like I wanted to submit greens because like my PB at the time was pretty good. I submitted it. I got a 357. Like it wasn't like too far off of my estimate, but um I did greens for like a 1545 event. I also did 380 for a 1545 event. Um for a I also did 380 for a really longathon. Also,
Ah.
I was subbed in though. The runner originally got sick, so I was a last minute sub in
Mm.
because me and that runner had similar PBs in 3D World. But that was a really fun run. I like doing that one. I'd be open to going to really longathon again and doing that. Actually, I'd be down to. I'm thinking about submitting 3D World categories to Hotfix because now that I wasn't able to do that originally, but now I have turned 18 and I'm able to do that now. I
Mm.
think you have to be 18 to do that, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm 18. I want to submit some stuff to GDQ, or I want to submit like to Hotfixes because I think it'd be cool to be on the Hotfix.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Um, I mean, and then like pretty much like on like another thing is like there's not too many like instances where I've like or there's not too many like or there's not a lot of like instances that I can recall for this because there's like so many to remember. But I would always be, at least for 3D World and for like online events, I would always be the person that they would go to first if like something like if they needed 3D World for something, they'd come to me. If they needed like it, which felt really nice because I mean if like it felt really cool that I was the person they were going to for that, but also like a little tiring at sometimes because sometimes they'd be like, can you do a 380 run in like 5 hours? I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Drop everything.
Drop everything, do a 380 run. Like, I don't know about all that, but I definitely did a lot of relay races that included 3D World, any percent or 380. I I did. There were also like some other events that I did. I think I submitted 3D World to a couple, or like I submitted a couple, or like to a couple like smaller marathons, like like the amount of times I've ran 380 for a live show is like just too much to count. But they've never been like. I think the biggest one has been really really longathon so far. I haven't really like gotten to do 380 or like any 3D World or just any category in general for anything bigger than that.
Mm-hmm. Well, have we covered everything?
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like it. Went over timeline, live run, future plan. I guess GG. Unless there's
Yeah,
anything we
GG.
missed.
Um, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think there's any runs I missed. I mean, I could have missed something.
Well, if you don't remember, then it wasn't important anyway.
True, that is
Probably.
true.
Well, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, just any future plans that you either haven't
Oh,
talked about or.
I I want to get good. I mean, I already talked about how I wanted to get good at the 602 games,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I think I've kind of I think my motivation is at a place where I feel comfortable saying that I want to go for a in the future a sub 21 602
Mm.
for I don't know if that's going to happen for the December race, but I want to get one at some point. That is something that I'm starting to see in this foreseeable. Like I can like actually see like that light at the end of the tunnel. Like I can see it, and that's probably going to be the biggest thing I ever do in speedrunning. Like that sub 21, because also I guess also as like by extension. I want to try to get second place for the 982 star speedrun, which is 602 plus 30 world. Odme
Mm.
has the world record, which Odme's like the world record holder of everything multi
Yes,
Mario,
of course.
and like by a lot. But I feel like if I got sub 21 with the 3D world that I have right now, I think it's very possible to get. I think it's like extremely possible to get second place. Maybe even like if I got in that low 21 range for 602. I don't know. I think it might be possible to get like sub 20 or like get like really close to Odme. Like, and I
Mm.
think that'd be really big. I think that's something I could do in the future. Not looking at that like right now, but I think it is definitely possible for the foreseeable future. And I'm very motivated to do it. So,
And you'll
but it's gonna take
obviously
a lot
do
of hard
the
work.
next 602 and
Yeah,
probably.
I hope to do the next like December 602
Mm-hmm.
this coming. Yeah. Uh, and if you want to join the 602 race, I'm happy to help.
I don't want to do that to myself.
Or, well, yeah, fair enough. Like, also just like talking, like just in general, like if anyone needs help doing the 602, ever since the 10th anniversary race, the race has low key fallen off. But I feel like I feel like it's a new era, and I feel like if people are a little intimidated by it, like fair enough if you don't want to do it, that is completely valid. I don't blame you. Like it is a hard run, but if you do ever have interest in it, there's a whole community of people who are happy to help you like get started, or you know
Mm-hmm.
I just want to shout out my community. They're awesome. I've been with them for years.
Yeah.
Easily like I've seen so many like runners like or I've seen so many runners like so many runners are pushed up, and it's a very like a community that like pushes up people. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's a community where like you can like even even like even sometimes like sometimes I'll work on just one game in particular, but someone from the multi-mark community will just know what I need to do. Like for Galaxy 2, like for example, I barely ever like go into the like Galaxy like server for help. I always just like I just kind of have a friend on standby who happens to be very good at the game. So I
Mm-hmm.
just it's like the multi-mark community is just like it's very helpful if you just want to like get into like running 3D Mario, even 2D Mario, or like just Mario games in general.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, guess the last thing I'll ask is you can self-promote yourself however you want.
Follow me, I guess. Might I stream sometimes. I might upload sometimes, and I might uh ski sometimes. I don't really use social media that much, but I'm definitely active. I'm not like a social media person, at least not anymore. I don't, but
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah, I like you probably won't see me very active, but when I am, it'll probably be something like a big PB or something, or I'll definitely like stream on Twitch for like some of those big runs that I want to do, or like some of those big grinds I want to go on, if that makes sense. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, uh, yeah, that's it.
That's it. Well, I guess we can get the hell out of here then. Well, as always, thanks for watching, everybody. Follow the show, Twitch and YouTube. Uh, I'm just really good at ending these historically, so just keeping that train alive. Anyway, see y'all next time. Take care, and goodbye.